Hey guys, Amy here, talking about being 28 weeks pregnant. So I had a little misadventure going to labor and delivery. I'm making it sound more dramatic than it was. Long story short, I was rear-ended on my way home from work. I called my doctor. They told me go to labor and delivery to get monitored. So I texted my husband what happened, and he said, do you want me to come with you? And I remembered my last hospital misadventure. You remember when I was in the ER around like 7 weeks, and when they thought that I had a pregnancy in my fallopian tube and I got that ultrasound? I remembered from that experience that the two things I was dying for were a phone charger and something to eat. So I asked him to grab me my phone charger and a snack, so that way if I was there a long time, at least I wouldn't be bored and starving. I went up to L&D, it's, on like the 5th floor of the hospital, and they told me, oh, you need to go through the ER first. And a nurse walked me down to the ER. Again, I'm going to sound like a terrible person, but the ER waiting room is not a good place to be. This was a different hospital, but the ER was equally a nightmare. Everyone was, coughing with their sickness and decrepitness all over the place, and of course it's an emergency waiting room. I feel for those people, but it's just probably the worst place for a pregnant woman to be. I texted my husband again and said, just drop off the stuff, you do not want to be here, it's a cesspool. But he didn't listen to me and was determined to stay by my side, which is very sweet, but the whole experience was pretty rough. They took me in for an ultrasound on actually a pretty short timeline. I was pleasantly surprised. When they did the ultrasound, I didn't get a good view of my baby's face. Again, he was doing this. I guess that's how he likes to hang out. But the ultrasound tech did show me a very detailed view of his male anatomy. She did the 1, 2, 3, and I was like, thanks. I was hoping to see my baby's face. After the ultrasound, they had told me that somebody from L&D would come down and start monitoring me, but I was in the ER waiting room for over 2 hours. I tried asking if L&D even knew I was there, because sometimes miscommunications can happen between departments, and it's not like I thought I should go in front of all the sick, decrepit people in the waiting room. It's just I was waiting for L&D, and they were waiting for, just completely different doctors. I was the only pregnant person I could see in there. And when I went to labor and delivery, initially I saw like 6 nurses just sitting around, and it seemed pretty quiet. So, maybe there were a lot of babies being born that I just didn't see, but it seemed like they weren't super busy that night. So I was wondering what was taking so long. Eventually 2 L&D nurses came down. They were really nice, really cool. It was a completely different experience from my hospital tour. And they took me into a room and hooked me up to fetal monitors. So I had like the belt with like 2 different sensors on, and my baby hated them. He was actively doing everything he could to kick them. I could feel him going like this, trying to like trebuchet his shoulders to get those things off. He was screwing with them. After 20 minutes, they told me they wanted to monitor me some more. So I went up to labor and delivery, and I got a bed. They hooked me up to the fetal monitors again and told me they wanted me to eat and drink something. They gave me some off-brand Sprite and graham crackers, pudding, applesauce, just some random snacks. They suggested that I crush up the graham crackers and mix them in the vanilla pudding, and I did, and it was really good. I don't know how long I was monitored for because I kept on going in and out of sleep. It was a really, really long night. At the end of it, they told me that I had had some contractions, which alarmed me because I don't really know what a contraction feels like. They gave me discharge instructions that if I had contractions for, I think it was like every 5 minutes for more than an hour, I needed to be seen again, along with, I'm sure all of the standard stuff. If you're bleeding or gushing fluid, etc., then you should probably go back in. So after that, I was really paranoid because they told me I was having contractions and I don't know what they feel like. My belly has been getting hard, but it's like, I think it's the baby. I think it's like his body just flopping forward sometimes because it's only in certain areas. And I've been reading every single detailed account of Braxton Hicks and whatever that I can. And it always describes your whole belly getting hard. But for me, it's like the sides will still be squishy. So I don't know. I had my doctor's appointment the other day. And that was one of the things I asked about was, hey, they told me I'm having contractions. but I am too stupid to identify them. And the lady kind of talked me down and said, you know, if it was a really bad situation that I would be in pain and I'd know, she said. So I guess if it's ambivalent, then it's fine. My doctor's appointment was the same routine as always, where they took my weight, my blood pressure, pee test, they listened to the baby's heartbeat. A new step they added was measuring my belly. I now weigh 120 pounds. I tried to insist that it was mostly my Ugg boots causing that extra weight, but I mean, even without factoring in my Ugg boots, if I just weighed 120 pounds, that means that I've gained 27 pounds this pregnancy. It's probably a few pounds less because my Uggs are substantial, but still. So besides that misadventure, it's been pretty uneventful. I finally got medicine for my acid reflux, and it's amazing what cause and effect can do, because now instead of just complaining about it all the time, it's actually a lot better. Still feel the baby moving. Maybe I'm feeling Braxton Hicks and I'm too stupid to identify them. I was stretching out my leg one night trying to fall asleep, and I apparently stretched it wrong or something because now it hurts ongoing. And I Googled it, and it's so funny when you Google something versus when you add the term pregnant. Like, I have trouble breathing, and then WebMD says, you're going to die. And then it's like, I have trouble breathing pregnant. And the results are like, oh, that's just part of life, deal with it. When I Google my pulled calf muscle situation with pregnancy in the term, it's also just like, yeah, that will happen. I was supposed to go to my birth class today, but it was canceled because of the air quality. I live in Northern California, and we are being impacted by the fires. Not to the degree of everybody else who's, you know, having their houses burned down and people dying. It's not to that level. It's just the air is really smoky, so I have to wear a mask when I go outside, and because the air quality isn't good, so they canceled they canceled school, they canceled a lot of businesses, and they canceled my birth class. They rescheduled me for mid-January, and I'm due early February, so I'm wondering if I'm even going to make the birth class. But if not, I guess I'll just try to watch some YouTube videos or something. I guess people can give birth without going to a birth class. That just kind of sucks. So for the beginning of my third trimester, I guess I will document how freaking big I'm getting. Can't even believe it. Oh. So it's almost hard to tell because I'm wearing black, which is at least slimming. But, and then I'm wearing navy, and then belly band. Oh, my belly button is really gross. Don't look at it. And don't look at my nails either. I haven't been able to go to the nail salon with the fires. I can't run extra errands. I gotta stay indoors. But my stomach is red and angry as usual. But it's just, I feel like at least it's going more this way. Instead of, you know, I'm breathing a little better than I was the last video, so hopefully he is sitting more low. Oh, grossest belly button ever. I'm really horrified because the belly button skin is like brown, and I'm like trying to clean it, but then it just gets scabby, so now I have like this brown scabby belly button that's kind of inny, kind of outy, kind of flatty. Ugh. Yeah, this is 28 weeks. So I'm trying to pause for Black Friday sales, but I found an old gift card in the house, and I got the Boppy Lounger. This is just basically a huge pillow that, it's just another place to put the baby down. I'm secretly hoping that, if it's safe, of course, if it doesn't make sense and it's not safe, I won't do it. But there's this video game that I've been waiting to have come out since high school, and it's being released around my due date. So I'm secretly hoping that maybe I can have my baby chill with me on the Boppy Lounger on the couch while I play my video game. Maybe, one can hope. I don't know how realistic that is, but I did have a babysitting gig once for like a 2-month-old baby, and me and him just chilled out watching TV the whole time. Like, yeah, he needed to be fed and have his diaper changed and stuff, but he was pretty chill. We we did a lot of couch time, so one can dream. But yeah, that's all for right now. I will continue to keep you guys posted. Bye guys.